Welcome to the Enrichment Center. These automated messages will guide you through your test today. The door in front of you is programmed to open in approximately
20
years. This test can be solved in two different ways. Option 1. Wait patiently. Option 2. Time travel to the future. The choice is yours. However, if you prefer time travel, the Enrichment Center will provide you the means to pursue that option. The time portal will open and testing will begin in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the future. Time traveling through portals will be an essential part of this testing course. In order to help you distinguish between the present and the future, this part of the Enrichment Center has been left untouched for the last
20
years. You may see some signs of decay. Don't worry, the Enrichment Center is designed to withstand centuries without proper maintenance. Find a way to exit the chamber. Welcome back to the present. If you are ever unsure which timeline you're in, simply observe your environment. The present should always look a bit cleaner than the future. This Aperture Science test subject teleportation device will dematerialize your body and rematerialize it in the next chamber. This process is absolutely safe. Usually. These next chambers will involve cube and button-based testing with the perks of time travel. A cube placed in the present will appear in the same position in the future. Moving a cube in the present will automatically update the location of the same cube in the future. This future version of the cube can be moved. Good. Please continue to the next chamber. Understanding the concept of cause and effect will be vital to solving the upcoming tests. Simply put, everything you do in the present has an impact on the future, but not the other way around. Good thinking. While it is impossible to bring a present cube to the future, this clever trick allows you to have two versions of the same cube in one timeline. This will prove to be very useful in future chambers. Always remember, if you change the destiny of an object in the present, the future version of that object will be affected as well. If this sounds too complicated, you're in luck. The next chamber will only heavily rely on your understanding of this very basic concept. Good. By now, you hopefully understand the concept of cause and effect and how cubes behave in different timelines. Now, let's move. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, Aperture Science proudly presents the Triple Portal Device. Go on, pick it up. This marvelous device will allow you to place 3 different portals. For now, however, to introduce you to the concept of portals in different timelines, the time portals will be placed for you. A portal placed in the present will appear on the same surface in the future. A portal placed in the future will not override its existing location. Good. Thinking in 4 dimensions means not only knowing where to place your portals, but also when. Please ignore that. The decay of this facility over the past 20 years may have caused the destruction of some portal surfaces. Try to find a way around this. Nicely done. Take note. Because time portals exist in exactly the same location in both timelines, they can only be placed on surfaces which are intact in both the present and the future. This next chamber will involve the concept of momentum-based traveling through portals. You go in fast, you come out fast. Simple enough. Touching the material emancipation grills will cause any ordinary portal to fizzle. Time portals are not affected. If a portal closes in the present, it will also close in the future. So think about where and when to pass through them. Outstanding. Now that you know all the essentials, how about shooting some time portals of your own? Ahead of you is the Aperture Science Time Portal Activation Force Field. This field will activate and deactivate your ability to shoot time portals. It will not fizzle your portals or destroy cubes. Great! The following chamber will combine all the elements you have learned so far. Good luck solving your first test while shooting 3 different portals. Well done. Traveling through a time portal will also transfer your current momentum into the other timeline. Nicely done. Now, let's move on to some more advanced challenges. Quickly make your way over these turret redemption platforms. Unfortunately, they did not survive their trip to the future. Come to think of it, it's actually quite remarkable that you are still alive. If at any point you are concerned about your odds of survival, don't be. Remember the test subject teleportation devices at the start of each test section? Should you die at any point during this test, we can simply rearrange the atoms you are made of and put them back together. Good as new. Good. In case you were curious, no, we cannot make infinite clones of you because of the stupid rules of quantum mechanics. Only once you die can we take your atoms and recreate your body for continued perpetual testing. These lasers should provide a fun change of pace. Please be aware that some test elements may only be functional in one timeline. Great! By now, you might be wondering how it is possible to hear these automated messages, regardless of which timeline you're in. We implanted a small device directly into your brain. That way, you can hear these messages as if they were the voice of your own conscience. Well, they practically are, considering how much of your cerebral cortex we had to remove to make this work. Things are about to get a little more complicated in the next chamber. But don't lose hope. Think about this. As long as you don't see your own corpse lying in the future, it is safe to assume that you solved the chamber sometime during the last 20 years. You solved it. And you were pretty quick about it, too. Great work. We tried many times to open a passage to the future, but this connection, exactly
20
years from now, is the only one stable enough to last longer than a few microseconds. Good. The second half of this testing course is located below you. Unfortunately, no elevator can take you there, so you will have to take the stairs. That works too. You might have noticed that something is not quite right here. Remember when we told you that the decay of the facility was completely intentional? Turns out, that was a lie. There is a bigger picture here. Your test might be the most important one ever conducted. For now, let's just try to get back on track and keep going. Well done. Since the catwalk to the next chamber appears to be non-existent, you can rely on the power of aerial faith plates to get you there. This next chamber should really test your observation skills. Take a good look around first, and then decide what to do, and in which order. Outstanding! You are the first test subject to ever make it to this point. In fact, you are the first test subject to ever survive a trip to the future at all. These light bridges are great for traversing over deadly ground. As with the lasers, you will often only have one of these at your disposal, so use them wisely. Good thinking. With all this talk about time travel, do you ever question the meaning of it all? Do your actions have any consequences? Or are we all just following the deterministic path of the universe? Here's a fun experiment. Listen carefully. The next thing you will do is jump in 3, 2, 1. It appears that the universe is strictly deterministic, and everything Here's a fun experiment. Listen carefully. The next thing you will do is jump in 3, 2, 1. It appears that the universe is strictly deterministic, and everything you do is already predetermined. You are a very smart test subject. If the universe really was deterministic, we would have already known the outcome of this test, which might make this compliment seem unnecessary. If you feel that you have been receiving too many compliments, feel free to ignore the previous statements. Good news! We found a way to make these turrets more durable. They should now also work in the future. Most of them, anyway. Should you find a defective turret in the future, feel free to mark this as a flaw in your test report. Nicely done. And don't worry, you won't encounter any turrets between the test chambers. Except for these ones. At this point, you might rightfully be asking yourself why we put you through all this. This testing track was built as a failsafe. My job is to ensure that testing can continue, no matter the circumstance. You see, this facility is largely controlled by one entity. For some reason, this entity seems completely unresponsive 20 years from now. That's why the future looks the way it does. We have lost all control, and we need to find a way to restore it. Well done. You have proven yourself to be quite capable. Keep going, and you might actually fulfill your true purpose in all this. You are in the home stretch now. Only a few more chambers until this testing course is over. Time to introduce the last new testing element. These Aperture Science excursion funnels will mostly work in both timelines. Have fun exploring all your options in the next chamber. The time-bending technology used to create these time portals is only stable in one specific configuration. We cannot choose the exact point in time to which the time portals will lead. We can only take a small glimpse of what the facility looks like 20 years from now. What exactly transpired is still unknown, but the data we collected points to a single rogue test subject. In the event that something horrific were to happen to this facility in the future, my protocol is to find a viable candidate that can withstand the effects of time travel on the human body and help to rectify whatever led to the tragic events of the future. That's where you come in. We need you to stop this test subject dead in its tracks and save the facility. Welcome to the final chamber. Don't get overwhelmed. Take everything one step at a time, and you will soon find the solution. Astonishing. You really did it. You've proven to be capable of nearly anything. Now it's time for your real mission. We will put you back in stasis until the day of the incident, and you will be the one to prevent it. This vacuum tube will take you back to the long-term human storage vault. You will be awoken when the time comes to use your special abilities to save this facility from its impending doom. Warning, you are going the wrong way. Please be aware that escaping is not an option here. You are far too important. If you won't go voluntarily, we will be forced to destroy your current body in order to put you back together in the stasis chamber. But this will be a small price to pay in order to help save the facility. Think of it as a sacrifice to science. Thank you, and goodbye. Warning, you are deviating from your path. Facility power has reached critical levels. Connection unstable.
Don't.
Is this thing on? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, right, you can't answer. I'm so sorry, astronaut, Olympian, or war hero. There was a slight problem with the test. Don't worry though, we got you out okay. Nothing's different, nothing's changed. Just head out of the chamber, I'll tell you a bit more out there. Don't worry about the height. Had a few of my scientists make what's called long-fall aperture science innovators, long-fall boots. That was easier to think of than I thought. Pick that yellow device up. Don't worry, it's not hazardous. I've had the scientists leave you a new device to help you. Yeah, that's right, a new test. Congratulations! You get to test something else now. Double the experiments for you. There's an open door nearby. Should take you out of the building. You'll need that new test to move around. Don't worry though, we built the building like this. Don't worry about that. It's just a new drilling test we're doing down below. Yeah, to get the salt mines deeper, to get more testing spheres in. Yeah, that's it. Just ignore that. Don't mind all this too, we just had earthquakes. Lots of earthquakes. Yeah, these earthquakes even shook up time a bit. Some stuff from the future got here. Yep, that's how it's here. Don't worry, it's still 1952. Adlai Stevenson is still president. Alright, so, the earthquakes. Kinda did some redecorating in here. Destroyed the door too. You'll have to find another way out. I know, things might look different than what you're used to, but while you were spending that little time sleeping, we had some aperture science nanomachines come in and build all this stuff. Yeah, that's it. They're quick little guys, faster than any science guy I got. Beyond that door is one of the new testing tracks. Totally, completely new. Get through it. I just want to make sure you know something before I'll let you go any further. We have these new inventions called emancipation grids in place to prevent objects from moving around to other tests. Now, some guy decided that if you turn the power off, you can easily turn it back on. That switch isn't like the rest of them. The others trip a circuit breaker that causes an entire... I think these switches were designed for two people. Maybe your new test can help. Remember, you can always turn the power on or off again. new testing track is just through here. That's meant to happen, just to test your reflexes, you know, after your short sleep. Ah yes, Bravo Volta, hold on. 5th testing track, yes, 5th. You'll need a portal device to get through. Sorry, I meant a portable quantum tunneling device. Look, it's in your hands right now. The scientists did their job. You'll do fine. Everything about this test is lead line, according to my 1950s notes here in my 1950s filing cabinet. It says it's harmful to humans. I mean, not harmful to humans. You'll be okay. Perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. Oh, and don't worry about the boxes. We got a ton backstocked ready for this kind of thing. Thrown at the wall, destroyed, rinse, repeat. Useless little things. Made them in an hour. You're not dead. That means that high toxicity lead didn't get in the air and, I mean, great job, astronaut, Olympian, or war hero. You really are a merit to science, or something like that. Just remember the Nuremberg Olympics. Now see, this test uses the new Aperture Science Innovators propulsion gel. It allows you to... No, wait, hold on. This record says they didn't make that until the 70s. Never you mind that. Just, solve science. Hold up a second, Mel. I don't think you're that stupid that you're going to fall for this anymore. I'll be blunt now. I'm not Cave Johnson. This isn't the 1950s. Everyone you knew and loved is dead. And now you're stuck here in Aperture Science, down with the trash. Like me. after everyone left because of that boat. Which I'm sure you already knew, but whatever. However, I can get us out of here. If you're willing to let a voice in the sky who just told you he was lying the entire time he was talking to you control nearly every movement you make. Is that okay? I'll just take your silence as a yes. Oh, right, you can't answer me. Just do what I say and you'll be fine. Okay? So about before, you can get why I said all that, right? I'd rather not have my one chance of escape have a panic attack and die on me after years of being suspended in a faulty relaxation vault. Which could be a real possibility, because as my records show, the old test could cause heart attacks after small exposure to the chemicals. And you were pumped full of them. So, let's all just take a breath and start over. My name's Virgil. I'm a core from up in the Enrichment Center. Before you even think of asking, yes, there is a building above you, and yes, I came from it. I'm not crazy. Don't be too alarmed though. A lot's changed since you got put on ice. Good job, Mel. See that pipe there that the repulsion gel's leaking on? That'll take you to the pumping station. Jump down and walk on it. Oh, and try not to fall off. That goo down there is corrosive, and it doesn't like human skin. Now, according to my records of this room, there should be a turret shooting range at the far side of the room. If you can get through there, you should be able to get to the fourth testing track. That'll take you up to where I am. Huh. Good. That gel should help you get past those turrets. Great. Should be a straight shot to the next testing track. Go to that door down at the very end. You know, the one with the giant wheel on it. Do it again. It'll open this time, I swear. Just give it some elbow grease. Oh, come on, you got this. One more shot. Well, great. You can fling yourself all over the place and get past some old turrets that are firing live rounds, but you can't get a door open? What kind of Olympian are you? Alright, let's see what we can do. There's a longer route through a repulsion gel pumping station. Guess you're going to have to go that way. You can get through this pumping station and prepare yourself to get out of Bravo Volta into the Lima Whiskey testing track. That should bring you closer to me and to your own escape from this facility. All right, I know what you're thinking. What on earth is going on here? Well, Aperture's early tests weren't always that successful. You were unlucky. That was the worst test Cave Johnson ever greenlit. But it's nice for me to have an Olympian at my disposal. Yeah, I have that information from you at the 1936 Nuremberg Olympics. You should have gotten that silver medal. Good! You know how to find the elevator out of here! Don't get me wrong, I admire your enthusiasm, but I would have told you if that was working. They boarded it up when they kept building above this facility. Sorry, but that's not gonna do anything. The chairs are comfy though. And our good luck just ran out. I can't override the locks to that test chamber. Maybe there's a way over it. See if there's anything you can use. Alright, look, I'm sorry for what I said back there. We're in this together. You're my ticket out of the junkyard down here. I'm your ticket to the outside world. I'll do my best to keep the insults at a minimum. Just try harder next time. I kinda have a bit of bad news. Yeah, I know. You don't want to hear any more bad news after the security override. I couldn't do. My records of this sphere are out of date, to say the least. There should be an exit after the third section of this test. However, I don't know if getting there will be that easy. You got it in you, though. You're my Olympian, who might not have a beating heart anymore. Wait a second, I'm getting some strange voice coming through. I'll patch it through.
Scanning. Lima Whiskey. 70% complete. No vital signs detected. Initiating flooding procedure.
That's coming up from new app. What the? My scans are going nuts. Something's happening. The sphere's unstable. Get out of here. Run! explosion blew the whole toxic goo pump station apart. It's letting flood wars out.
We gotta get out of here. It's not safe. Get through the control centers. There's a transition seal leading up to where I am. Hurry, before this whole place floods or comes down. The place is exploding. Rocks are falling everywhere, and you're taking the elevator? What if the power went out? You'd be trapped. You gotta get out of there. The room's filling with smoke. Whoa, don't do that. You want to bring the place down on your head? I can't believe that worked. Oh, right, get going. Before something else happens. Wow. If you'd been there a few seconds earlier, you'd have been incinerated. Thank the maker you were, though. I need the muscle. Okay, bad news! When the pump station blew, the floodgates opened up wide. Toxic goos rising fast, the sensors maxed out ages ago, warning lights going crazy all around. This just got a lot more serious. Alright, you're at Quality Control Center 95D. Only a bit further and you'll be at the hatch up to me. Hurry. I'll try to slow the goo down a bit. The door won't open from this side. Maybe there's some other way around or something. Oh, great. Another blocked corridor. So, Mel, why don't you take your time? Look around here. I'll try to slow the rising goo down a little bit harder, I guess. Just don't take all day. Great job, Mel. You're on the other side of that door now. Yes! Very good. The doors are locked? Back in the day, the wiring was a bit strange sometimes. Try turning some machinery on, see if that also unlocks the doors. Wow, that actually worked. I mean, great! Well, that's just great. Can't we get through a room once without stuff blowing up or blocking our way? Try to find some water again or something. Great. From there's just the walls. Don't get comfy though. I've pulled the plug on some emergency run-up dams, but the goo is still rising. Wow! This place is massive! Whoever built this place must be a great architect. Up high at the back side of this room is a control panel. It controls the hatch. Try to get there. records show that at least 2 people were needed to activate the vault hatch. You're one person. There's a bit of a problem there. I'm sure you can figure something out. Great! You're smarter than I thought. Not a genius like me, but still. Take the elevator up to me. I'm in the junkyard just outside the hatch. It's finally time for me to repay my end of the deal. A short walk to the new enrichment center from here. We'll meet up shortly. And good news, we're not going to have to worry about the goo eating us alive. I'll seal up the hatch and we don't have to worry about that anymore. That's definitely a plus. Oh, great, you're here! I can finally get out of this technological nightmare! If you can get into the offices, I'm saved. The floor's getting quite cold here. Hey, over here. I'm right over here. Hey, Mel, nice to finally see you. It's kind of dark here, though. You should turn the power on so we can get the lights working. There's more offices on the other side of the double doors. Check there. Turn the power on first, then pick me up. Lights, check. Camera, check. Action, hopefully not.
Detecting power surge at sub-basement station 26. Threat level moderate. Activating security protocols.
So much for no action. Come back and pick me up. Whew. Good. That floor was getting very cold. My motherboard was almost going critical. All right, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Mr. Virgil Core Guy, how were you able to control everything and see everything in the old testing facility? Well, one simple answer. Wi-Fi. I'm fully Wi-Fi capable. Anyway, take me over to the elevator control room. There's a management rail I can use to get back up to the enrichment center. Oh, and I can also get an elevator for you. Ah, much better. Good to be back on track again. Let me go back here and get your elevator so we can get out of here. Yes! This should help. That wasn't me, I think.
Detecting security override at sub-basement 26. Generator override command initiated.
Override generator override command.
Error. Scanning for life forms. Unregistered life forms detected in facility. Commencing termination program. 3 targets acquired. 1 organic, 2 mechanical.
Well, at least I can get you out of here now. We'll worry about that voice on the intercom later. I'll meet you upstairs.
Toxic contaminant level from testing track Lima Whiskey rising. Time to contact with enrichment center to be determined. Flooding procedure commencing.
The elevator wasn't going to my testing track, so I've rerouted the lift. Luckily for you, it's not too far away. These things can take forever sometimes. And there's no magazines to read. So annoying. Welcome to my testing track. It's not the best looking thing in the world, but it'll do. Let's see if I can just get this door open and get us out of here. Okay, sorry, I can't help you with this testing track. All Apture Science AIs have been programmed to not help with solving the tests. I can, however, test to see if everything still works. It's been a while since I fell off that management rail and plummeted down into that pit, so maybe some stuff broke in my absence. Checking the funnel. Working. Fizzler. Changing over. And toxic goo drainage pipe. Eaten away by toxic corrosive goo. Oh, lovely. That's not important. You can do this test just fine. I hope. She couldn't even open a lock.
Power surge detected in test chamber merge 1. Assuming automated control of entire testing track.
Great! Just great! It seems you tipped off with whatever that thing is to our presence. It has taken control of the testing track. Well, so much for that.
Elevator descending to exit 1 of testing track Virgil.
I'll keep trying to take control back. In the meantime, keep going through the testing track.
Hardline bridge control center activating. Hardline bridges coming online. Toxic contaminant level from testing track Lima Whiskey rising. Estimated time to contact with enrichment center 25 minutes.
I'm still working here. Seems like I've got to hack this thing. Come on, Wi-Fi, don't fail me now. I've got a good signal strength. I finally broke into that thing's server. I'll try and learn more about what's going on, but I'll keep you posted.
Level of unknown organic life form moderate. Continue tracking.
It seems that thing is using some biological tracking to find out where you are. Get into the elevator to the next test. I'll need a little bit more time to get us removed from the system. I think we'll be in the clear for a little bit, but somehow I can't get access to the final target, or even learn what it is. Whatever it is, it's enough to cause this thing to blow up toxic goo pump control down in the salt mines.
Activating Aegis firewall.
I just tripped an alarm in that thing's mainframe. It completely locked me out. Firewall, huh? Firewall. That just gave me an idea. I'm going to reroute some of the water to the Aegis servers. That should shut the firewall down.
Target 1 organic, 1 mechanical required for termination. Security measures at 75%. Alert status red. Toxins from testing track Lima Whiskey. Contact with enrichment center sub-basement level 10. Flooding procedures commencing.
alright?
Alert. Water detected at server level. Server damage detected. Reduced processing power available.
The plan to flood the servers worked. I should be able to get you back into the testing track. Let me open these for you. Well, with those servers gone, I think you'll have a much harder time tracking our movements. I'm working on getting control of the elevators, so just hold on, get through this test, and I'll get you out of here. I got some control again. There's another lift transfer down below. Hold on. Activating the elevator. Now.
Elevator car 77. Testing track direction compromised. Alert status 100%. Rerouting remaining servers to biological tracking. Target lost.
Rerouting the elevator worked. That got its attention. Don't expect this to get any easier now. Keep going. There's an easy test track up ahead. Maybe you can gain some ground on it. So, you can handle a lot of harder tests. This is a brand new introduction track designed for new test subjects. You should do this really quickly. I've got a plan. Mel, over here! So, I was thinking, if this computer has scanners searching for biological substances, maybe there can be some interference? You know, with things like plants. There's an overgrown testing track across the facility that hasn't been converted yet. If we can get there, I think we can confuse it. Alright, listen. I was able to hack into that system and run a basic diagnostic before I got booted. The computer is known as the Aperture Employee Guardian and Intrusion System, or AGIS for short. It looks to be a security mainframe trying to protect the scientists logged into its system. It hasn't been turned on in decades. Maybe that's why it's after us, and whatever that last threat is. Maybe it thinks we killed the scientists. Alright, I finally got access to some schematics of this place. I can guide you to that overgrown testing track now to cover our tracks. Head through the corridor to the left. Should take you through the work-in-progress test chambers. Oh, why on earth is it always such a problem to get from point A to point B when you're outside of the testing tracks? That red laser on the wall seems to be controlling that door. You should probably find a way to block it. Great. Through there is a crappy backstock chamber Gladys was designing before her demise. Never finished, but it should at least be working.
Opening panels near biological target. Error. Bit bottom detected. Subroutines unable to control.
You dodged a bullet on that one. I told you to be careful. Next time might not be so forgiving.
Scans indicate target in elevator shaft. Activating trap elevator.
He thinks you're going to use the elevator? Well, he's in for a nice surprise. There are tubes on the side you can use to get towards the overall testing track. Alright, this next test chamber is still under construction. Generally, they need to be tested at least 3 times before they're finalized. Some people just can't count further than that, I guess.
Construction subroutine controlled. Installing additional hazards.
Turrets, huh? Let's see what I can do. How about I fire up the lasers? Deep pit. How about a hard light bridge?
Test successfully concluded. Resetting execution. Increasing test difficulty.
Oh, it's only the test difficulty this time? I'm sure you can handle it. Just make sure to dodge the bullets again.
Target lost. I bring trouble.
Organic threat escaping new test chamber. Escape contingency not in place.
Alright, good. Looks like it doesn't know where the elevator is heading to. Up ahead are the overgrown parts of the facility. I can try to reroute the elevator again if it holds up. There is an office area. So, I was right. When a test subject destroyed her, this whole place fell into disrepair. I don't exactly know if everything is working properly anymore, but we don't have a choice.
Error. Tracking on target failed. Heavy organic interference.
Huh? It worked? It's blind here. Oh, no. There's some stuff here blocking the path for the elevator. Hold on for emergency brakes. Just climb on out of here and let's get moving. Whoa! That was close. You could have been in there. Oh, wait, you just were. Ooh, these are the old offices I was talking about before. The humans left these behind when she gassed them with neurotoxin. Because this is an abandoned track, it's no longer connected to the rest of the computer systems. Aegis shouldn't be able to lock us out here. These computers should contain a lot of useful information for us. Alright, time to start hacking into these systems. Let's start guessing passwords. Password. Admin? Oh, come on. Let me in. Were these passwords generated by super geniuses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? What? All these passwords are usually the same. 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, for crying out loud. I didn't even get a warning siren this time. This thing must be laughing at me now. Did you just override the admin controls? Anyway, I think there's some info here about Aegis. I'll keep working as long as you keep going. So, get back to the testing track and get started. Oh, I should also let you know, I won't be able to move around much. Management rails are kinda non-existent here, unless I want to haul off another one and end up back in the junkyard. You won't be seeing much of me right now. Alright, there is a lot of information stored in these computers. It'll take me some time to sort through these and come up with a plan so we can get rid of Aegis. According to the systems, the toxic goo is still rising. You should continue to move through the tests and upwards. Keep your feet dry. I sorted through some of the stuff. So many cat pictures. But I also got some more serious information. Aegis thinks we killed the scientists, so it's activating some sort of kill order. It's going to flood the enrichment center, Probably with all that goo to eliminate any and all threats. That means you, that means me, and that means whatever that last thing is. So I'd suggest we keep moving.
Biological scanners. Recalibrating sensors.
Well, it seems that we won't be able to stay in the plant-filled test chambers much longer. It seems to be able to adapt to our actions quite well. We need to come up with a plan to take him on, head on. But leave that to me. You can continue solving these tests. Hey, Mel. You have no idea how hard it is to move around here. Anyway, remember those old turrets from all the way at the bottom of the facility? Those guys have no security systems installed. It should be really easy to reprogram them to destroy Aegis instead of humans. If we go down to a turret production line, we might be able to produce friendly turrets. Test subjects rated that as one of the hardest tests in this track. I heard that it was made by two particularly cruel scientists. I'm still sorting through all those files. There's terabytes of emails. I'm trying to find something that can help us. Huh. Did you know you can increase the size of your core in just 2 easy steps? So, apparently, the records on these computers are kinda severely out of date. I think I can recompile a new version of this testing track sequence. Alright, a quick update. Compiling maps apparently takes quite some time. At least the turrets from old Apture are still coming up. Just a pity the toxic goo is coming up too. The next chamber is the broken one. From there on, you'll have to move fast because that's the last chamber with plants in it. Hey, we're finally at the production facility. I've been able to find a rail a bit further on. I'll meet you up ahead. Good. You should find a way out of this test chamber before your portal gun's black hole violently implodes. Anyway, beyond one of these walls are catwalks leading to the end of a manufacturing line. We'll be going through the weighted storage cube manufacturing. It's
Organic threat presence shown on scanners. Reacquiring target.
Now this is the room where they test if cubes are actually able to press buttons. It's some vital testing. A cube that can't press buttons? It's a total waste. You should be able to slip through the door if it opens. Don't stay too long though. Those doors will close with 5,000 pounds of pressure. Did you know that Aperture Science weighted storage cubes have to be bulletproof? Well, that cube wasn't strong enough. The human offices are up those stairs. There are no cameras in this part of the facility, so Aegis won't be able to trap us. Still, we've got to take him out if you want to leave this place. Anyways, if you go through the offices, I'll go through the service areas. There you are. I thought maybe somehow you managed to get lost. Anyway, we're almost at Aegis' part of the facility. Mind your head here. Those metal plates will hurt if they hit you. Can you believe it takes 6 of those plates to make 1 cube? Ridiculous! Aegis's lair. What an impressive sight. The power's been cut off here, but I think I can help. Just give me a moment. Yes, that's perfect. Let's get going. This reminds me of the day I ended up falling down into those junkyard offices. Dark room, no lights, hit the end of a management rail and down I went. Luckily I found you still alive in that vault or I'd have been stuck there forever. So, thanks for that. Careful, careful. There's a hole in the floor ahead. Just a bit further and we can get to the mainframe rooms. There should be a lever near that door to open it up. You ready, Mel? Look, Mel, I just wanted to say something. I couldn't have done any of this without your help. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be stuck down there in the junkyard offices. Probably my battery backup would have run out in a few days. So, thanks. So, let's get this done. Whatever happens, I believe in you. Really.
Organic threat and mechanical threat number 1 detected in Central Hub. Countermeasures activating.
Alright, so, in order to get to the Aegis core, we need to turn on the power, unlock the doors, and replace the turrets. Once that's done, we should have a clear shot at Aegis. Let's get going.